out of down here, really. Actually, we have a few different things. We have an update on next week's trial and the schedule that's expected to take place. I'm going to read you through that a bit in a little while. We have some actual breaking news, though. The story I brought you the other day about Audrey Griffin and how they had finally tracked down the person who killed her or is accused of killing her. Well, this evening at just before 5 p.m. Sydney time, Adrian Torrens, 53, was found unresponsive at Silverwater Jail, and they tried to revive him, but unfortunately, he could not be saved. So, at this point in time, that is the end of this story. He killed a woman, and he's taken the easy way out. He has taken the coward's way out. Couldn't face what he did to this young woman, and has left this world from his own accord. So, a very sad ending to what was, sort of a brilliant breakthrough on finding out what happened to Audrey. It took some very interesting police work to finally flip the script when originally they were kept saying how her death was accidental. It was some sort of misadventure. And all throughout the week, the community across Australia has been quite angry at that, saying, why did you lead us on for many weeks when, women don't just wind up dead after trying to walk home? And people are saying it looks suspicious from the outset. So why were the public lied to? Well, now we get this news that her alleged killer, Adrian Torrens, is gone. He's dead. And the chances of ever really finding out why he killed Audrey are zero. It's over. We'll never fully know what went through Adrian Torrens' mind or the actions that he took that evening to allegedly take Audrey Griffin's life. It's crazy. So one of the things that did come up in the last couple of days, though, one of the things that the police were able to sort of get as evidence against Adrian was a phone call. And it says here, in a harrowing phone call recorded by police, it is alleged that Torrens admitted the crime to an associate after his image was published in New South Wales by the police in a bid to find him. He says in that phone call, and I quote, "Why did I do it? I don't know. I do not. I just effing clicked, and I have no reason for my actions. I just did it, man. I was so effed up. I was awake for 4 or 5 effing days, and I just did it." So he's attacked this woman after being awake on some sort of drug binge for 4 or 5 days, and then attacked a woman who was walking home. It's just a shame. We will never see justice done for Audrey now. The story ends here. There is no further development we will ever expect for this particular case. It is done. It is really sad when we don't get to see that justice and the person committed to trial and then a verdict reach over the evidence, but he must not have been able to live with what he had done. That's what I'm going to say. He must not have been able to live with what he had done to Audrey. You've been up for that long and never attacked anyone? Were you also smoking methamphetamine? That may be the difference. Yeah, so that is the breaking news out of Australia. Adrian Torrens is dead, found unresponsive in his jail cell this afternoon, and that's it. That's it. It's all over. After going from an accidental death to a murder inquiry to a person of interest to an arrest, and now it just stops here. There is no further, and we will never know anything else. Caroline, how are you, my friend? Okay. Yes, he ended himself. Yes. Hey, Amy, how are you, my friend? Good to see you all. So not the greatest of news that I would have liked to have brought you this late at night. I don't hop on my live show at midnight Australian time unless it's something urgent. And yeah, this is pretty urgent. I couldn't wait till the morning. Couldn't wait till the morning for me to come back on. I had to do it right now. But while we're here, I have some other developments. So some developments in the Aaron Patterson trial expected to start next week. Now, an article came out earlier today in the Herald Sun, and they have issued a bit of a timeline, which actually sort of affects my movements a little bit, helps me out a little bit too. So originally, she was due to stand trial on Monday, the 28th of April. I don't know. Well, actually, I have a fair idea of why this has happened, but again, due to non-reporting obligations, I actually can't tell you. But it has now been moved to the 29th. So day one of trial, jury selection has now been pushed forward by 24 hours to the 29th. And they're not expecting, so that's when a jury will be selected. They will be sort of filtered by each side. They'll get asked questions. They'll be able to, you know, get through that jury selection process. Then they will be impaneled, probably by the end of the day, I think. Wednesday morning is when opening statements are due to begin. So we are far from that Monday morning. I never thought Monday was going to be opening statements because we always have some pre-trial stuff to do, sort of like instructions from the judge, jury type things. There's always things at the start of trials that take time. But I never expected it to move this far forward. I actually thought we were probably going to get opening statements on Tuesday morning, but now it looks like it's been pushed by 24 hours. So it is no longer, so I no longer have to go on Sunday. I'm actually going to leave a day later. I'm going to leave Monday now. So I'm going to go up on Monday afternoon, get ready for trial on Tuesday morning. And that actually helps me. The little bit of time actually sort of helps a little bit. I got a couple of things I have to sort out. The only issue is this afternoon, I don't know if it had anything to do with this news coming out, right? This is the second time it's happened. My hotel canceled on me again. And then when I went to go look and rebook again, they jacked the prices up by 2 times. So I think I originally booked and it was like it's like 120 something a night. They jacked it up to $220 per night. And it's like the only place available anywhere near the trial. So like I had no choice. I had to rebook, but it's like $1,000 for the week. This should be illegal to do that. You shouldn't. Once you accept a booking, this has happened twice now. We ordered an Airbnb, they cancelled and jacked the price up. I ordered a hotel, they cancelled tonight and then jacked the price up by 100%. So it's so bullshit. It's so crap. Doubled the price overnight. Gayla said that's why they cancelled. Is that even legal? Yeah, it's legal. Yeah, it's legal. They don't have to accept the booking. So yeah, I'm guessing now that the trial schedules come out that they've decided to jack the price up. Um, it's interesting. I was checking every hotel in the area trying to find something else, and they're all booked out for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but not Friday and not Saturday. But I need Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm going to come home on Saturday. So I couldn't fit it in anywhere at any other place. Some places had Monday, Tuesday, some places had Wednesday, Thursday, but I need all 5 nights. And unfortunately, yeah. Carolina says, I don't think that's legal here. So they just do it. There's not much you can do. They just say, oh, well, oversold, or oh, it was listed at the wrong price or something like so. How far is your family? So it's about a 2-hour drive. So I'm quite far away from anyone. Like even if I ask Mrs. Ping to come and get me each evening, if she left where she is during the day and then came out to me, she'd probably get there just before 7 p.m., and then we'd have to drive home. We wouldn't get home till about 9:30, and then I would have to somehow wake up, do it all again, get out to Morwell before 8:30 to be in court, and that means we'd have to wake up at, like, 4:30 in the morning. I just don't think it's possible. I have to be out there, otherwise it's just it's not doable. Yeah, well, this is the second time it's happened to me. Actually, it may not be legal, but I actually heard this happen to people at Coachella. So people who went to Coachella had the same thing where they booked somewhere, they got canceled, they booked another place, and right before Coachella, they got their accommodation canceled as well. So that's happened to people in America as well. Um, yeah, so the average price when I was looking, so you can see the average pricing normally says 110 a night, which is what I paid originally. And then it says down the bottom, it says prices are really high for this time period. And I was like, no shit, like 220 bucks. It's a lot. Like it's not even 5 star. It's like a 3 star hotel and they're like 220 bucks a night. It just it's funny, they sent me an email too. Do you guys wanna hear it for a sec? So they sent me this email after I booked the hotel for the 3rd time, and they're saying here, so along with the $1,000 that I parted with, they're like, I have to give them $300 on check-in as a deposit. I'm like, "What do you mean as a deposit? Isn't the $1,000 I gave you enough?" And they're like, "Oh, no, no, no. So you need a $100 minibar deposit. You need a $100 um damage deposit, and you need a $100 some other freaking, I think it's for services incidentals in the hotel. So you need to give up 3 different security deposits to stay there." It's insane. I've never heard of anything like this in my life. I've stayed at hotels everywhere. Like I went traveling in December. I went all the way to Tasmania. I'm literally going like an hour and a half away from home, and they've got all these crazy freaking conditions and stuff. There was one other place, and it is right. I think I showed it to you guys. It's right next to the courthouse. The issue is, I looked into that place, and apparently, apparently, it's a halfway house for people who get out on bail. So people who get bail from the court next door often get put up in this motel. And apparently it is really rough. Like there are people that hang out in the car park and do like heroin and things like that. And they break into rooms and steal people's like belongings and stuff. So I was like, I'm bringing an absolute crapload of tech with me, a laptop, like, cameras, streaming stuff. And I was like, I am not going to stay there because I guarantee you my stuff will not be there after court in the afternoon. So, uh, not staying there. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like every motel is booked out in the area right now because of the trial. It's a small country town. It is a touristy sort of town. Like in summer they have sort of um like a tourist season, so people do go out there during certain times of the year, but it's a very quiet place. There's no It's not like the city where there's a Best Western on every corner or, something like that. Like, it's just that's not what it is. So, it's okay. I've got somewhere. It's fine. I've got somewhere. No, I can't even do that because, I won't have the car. So, I'm going out there. Mrs. Ping's taking me out there, but she needs the car for work. So she's gonna have the car. I'm gonna get left in Morwell. So I'm gonna be in Morwell till Friday, and then she'll come and get me on Friday, but she needs the car for her job. So I won't have the vehicle. She's gonna dump me in Morwell, and I'm gonna, try and hide in my motel room for every day that I'm not in court. So the trials and tribulations, I think, someone told me I should write a book about this trial. I'm very tempted to after all the crazy crap that's happened, including a lot I've not even been able to tell you, as of yet. I'm tempted, I'm tempted to because the stuff that's happened before the trial is way more exciting than anything I think is coming in the trial. It's bonkers. Gayla says, "Can family loan a car?" I no, I don't think so. We do have a spare car in the family, but I think someone's using it. So we have Nana's car who she doesn't drive anymore, but I think someone's got it. I'll have to check, but we'll see. Start writing stuff now. I'm tempted. I'm tempted to write a book. Carolina says that's a great idea. No one knows it better than you. Yeah, it is a little like that. Yeah, there's just so many things I wish I could talk to you guys about, but unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to discuss right now. But I can't wait for the day when we have a verdict and I can just tell you guys everything because I think that might be one of the best shows I ever do. And a lot of it's not even about the trial; it's just things happening in the background, and they're not even got anything to do with the court case. They're just random craps happening and stuff that I've signed NDAs for and stuff that I can't talk about right now. But yeah, I can't wait till the trial for the sort of can't wait for the trial to begin. Can't wait for the trial to sort of be over too, so we're a bit more have a bit more freedom because we're bound under certain laws and legislation right now. All right. All right, so that's your update about Aaron Patterson. So that's the updated timeline. So jury selection on Tuesday, which will be Monday if you're in America. Opening statements will be Wednesday down here, but for no, so yeah, so Wednesday here, Tuesday for you. Jury selection, Tuesday for me, Monday for you. So the start of your week next week will be jury selection. So we will be in trial for that, and I should be there that day. And then the following day should be the big dynamite, where we get to hear prosecution statements for opening of the trial, which will outline the prosecution's case and their theory against Aaron Patterson. So that'll be very insightful. It'll be very, a lot of knowledge, I think we'll find out. Then, apparently, from what I know, Thursday, Friday will be the start of evidence. So, Thursday, Friday, which will be Wednesday, Thursday for you guys, will be the start of the prosecution bringing out witnesses and evidence. So, that, yes, but Friday for you guys, Saturday for me, there is no trial, no day. Marylander says, how long will this trial take? Well, I'm heading out there for 2 weeks, but there is a possibility this trial could go for 6 weeks. So I'm going to go out there to start the trial, and then I'm going to come home. And when we get the notice that the jury goes into verdict watch, I will head back out to Morwell, and I want to be there for the verdict. So there's going to be a little bit of a break in between, and then I'll be back out there for the decision of what's going to happen. So yeah, so a little bit of a break. I cannot stay out there for a month and a half. It's not possible. I don't have the money to do it. It would cost me literally $7,000 or something. Hold on, what was it? It was like 1,022 times 6 equals $6,132. That's just the hotel. So no, I'm not going to be out there for a month and a half, but I am going to be out there for the first 2 weeks of trial. Then I'll come back, and then when we get that notice that there is a verdict being reached, I will go back out. So I should get notice of that. I can't tell you why, but I should get some notice. That's all I can say. So I should know. I won't be like, oh my God, we're live. There's a verdict in half an hour. No, like I'll be out there in the morning. All right. All right. So DJ sent me this, and I want to cover it very briefly with you guys. What is going on in New England? What is this? New England serial killer fears escalate as cops make another grim discovery in picturesque town. What? In Springfield, Massachusetts. Apparently, all these women have died. Look at this. Human remains found on March 6th, March 21st, and March 19, April 9, April 10, April 22nd. Oh, there's more in March. March 25th. So March 6, 19, 25, 21, 25, April 9th, April 10th, April 22nd. April 22nd was like 36 hours ago. So under a day ago, they found another body. So this is Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. So you've got bodies dropping in 3 different states in the New England area. Uh, I've can you guys remember when this was the last time you saw a bona fide possible serial killer? I I mean, maybe the one that happened in there was one that happened in Seattle, like, about a year or so ago. There was 6 or 7 women that were found around Seattle. That's the last one I can remember. Um, yeah, MA is Boston. Yeah, that's, Massachusetts. So, yeah, Boston. Prolific. Look at all these bodies in, like, a month. This is insane. Hold on. Let's have a look. Who are these people? Listen to this. Chair of the Forensic Science Department at the University of New Haven's Henry C. Lee College of Criminal Justice and Forensic Sciences. I think they need like a new title. That's way too long. You can't even make an acronym for that. It would be like the FCDU NHHCLC CJ FS. They're just too many letters. His name is Peter Valentin, spoke to Fox News Digital and said cops responding to an unresponsive person is strongly suggestive of someone who did not have any post-mortem artifacts that would negate the need to check for vital signs needed to make a pronouncement. So what they mean is there's no physical signs of rigor mortis. Because if you can see someone's in rigor and they're stiff, you're not going to check for a pulse or something like that because they're dead. They're long gone. They've been dead for hours. So what they're saying is at least one of these bodies was a fresh murder. It's weird. They say the grim discovery comes as residents across Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island are on high alert about a potential serial killer living in their midst. In total, 8 bodies have now been discovered across the idyllic region, sparking community groups and rumors online about whether they're connected. Well, I'm going to say yes right now. Ping tells you maybe. Authorities have not announced any connection between any of the 8 victims, and several have insisted they are not investigating links. I would be like, is this unusual that you have so many dead people just randomly appear? They say here on March 6th, the remains of a 35-year-old named Paige Fannin of West Islip. West Islip. When did we talk about that? Last night, right? We were talking about that. That's right near Gilgo Beach. It's just if you take that road and head inland, that is right next to Gilgo. Did someone let Rex Heuermann out of jail? Who gave Rex the keys to the jail cell? I'm asking, who did that? Who's let him out of jail? Because bodies are starting to turn up again. What is going on? I seen him in court. I could have sworn I saw shackles. I don't think he's wandering around Long Island again. They're saying here her body had been in a fast-moving Norwalk River the night after a heavy deluge. Then on March 21st, police found another set of human remains, later confirmed to be that of a missing 59-year-old mother of 2, Denise Leary. On March 25, Rhode Island police found another set of remains in a wooded area of Foster, which were identified as a missing 56-year-old Michelle Romano. Several other sets of unidentified remains have also been located in New England during a similar time period. The hell is going on? This is Paige Fannin right here. She disappeared on March 4, and then her body was found 2 days later. Here's another woman. This is Denise Leary, Paige Fannin, Michelle Romano. She's about the only one that doesn't fit. These two fit quite well. They're sort of younger and more. Don't be like that, Ping. They're younger, attractive ladies. This lady's a little older. That's interesting. It doesn't fit a demographic. And they say, we have complete faith in the Rhode Island State Police and our private investigator that the person responsible will be brought to justice sooner or later. There is also no indication that the 8 cents of remains all belong to people who disappeared or died recently. Well, at least 3 of them do. They all disappeared in March, and then they were all found in March. So tell me more about that. They said several were in such a state of decomposition that they could no longer be identified, suggesting that they may have been exposed to the elements longer than the others. All that tells me is the guy's been operating for a long time, and that he's been hiding these bodies for a period of time. Police in Groton, Connecticut, on March 19 uncovered the remains of a woman they believed to be aged between 40 and 60. They said the woman appeared to have lightly pigmented skin and features typically associated with a person with Turner syndrome. The condition is a genetic disorder where chromosomes is missing or altered and can cause numerous health issues. On April 9, another set of possible human remains were discovered in Kingley. Police did not reveal the identity of the remains, but said there is no known threat to the public related to the discovery. I don't know about that. Does anyone want to suggest that there might be a threat? The next day, firefighters in Massachusetts discovered more remains in Framingham. The decomposition of the remains suggests they had been there for at least several months. And on Wednesday, police discovered another 2 bodies, both male, near a Walmart in Salem. They said there is no information at this time suggesting any connection to similar remains and discoveries. There is also no known threat to the public at this time. Do you know what I can tell you? I can tell you that when they had that one that happened in Seattle, they also said the same thing. They're like, you internet people making up funny rumors and serial killers. There is no threat to anyone. There is no person going around here killing any young ladies. These women all just dropped dead around the city around the same time. Just random. Just randomly happened. Women just do that. They just fall and don't ever get back up. You've seen the ads on TV. Help, I've fallen and I can't get back up. That's what happens. They just fall and they die, and you don't have to think too much into it. There is no known threat to the community. Everyone is safe as long as you don't fall down and don't get back up. That's what that's sort of what they were saying, and they were really being really mean to the people online. They're like, "Oh, those internet people, they keep making up rumors." A month later, they're like, "Oh yeah, so we got this guy. He killed all these women. He killed 7 women in like a month. He's a serial killer, but just took us a while to link them together." So don't always believe what you hear when they're like, there is no threat to anyone. There is no serial killer. They often say this type of stuff just to not worry the public. So who knows? Hey, Greaves, what's up, my friend? This is in my area. People have been talking for ages, years, about an active serial killer. There's a few, buddy. There's a few. There's one in Florida they reckon has been active for about 10 years. Bodies keep showing up in Florida in random places, and there's some similarities between the victims. And that's been going on since, I think, 2008, something like that. So if there's one in the north part of the East Coast, I wouldn't be surprised. Um, how do you pronounce the town? Oh, Groton? Groton. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let's see. I want to have a look. What's this lady's name? Paige Fannin. Paige Fannin. All right, Paige. Let's see if what we can find on you. Yeah. How is there no news that is covering this? How is it only people like JLR? How does that work? Someone tell me how that works. That there's no how is it? How? Yeah. Okay. I just want to know why there's no media covering it. Hold on. So there's Paige. What was the other lady's name? Denise Leary. All right, Denise. No, that's not the actor. Not the actor. We want the lady. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's weird. There's like no local media. I mean, Mass Live did something, but let's go here. Let's go to people.com. You know, when you have to start relying on people.com, you're in big trouble. What we know about 6 bodies found across New England and the serial killer fears that they've sparked. Well, I'd be worried too. What are they saying? They say, as the notion of a possible serial killer floats across social media among web sleuths with a space, some investigating agencies have dismissed the theory. Really? Okay, hold on. I'll show you something. It was Seattle, Washington, Pacific Northwest. Hold on. Is it this one, Kings County? I just want to have a look. Is it this guy? I know we know the guy. Richard Bradley Jr. I think it is that one. I just want to check it's the right guy. Yeah, I think it is this one. Washington State. Yep. And they say accused serial killer lured victims by asking them to help dig up buried gold. Okay. And they for this particular guy, there was a bunch of victims, and they're just like, "There's no serial killer. Stop with your crazy conspiracy theories." And then they link them all together. I'm sure it is Richard Bradley Jr. I'm almost sure that's who it was. Victims, Ford Como News. I don't think it is this guy. Hold on. 7. It was Portland. Sorry, Portland. There we go. Portland, Oregon. I don't know why I thought Seattle or Washington. It was Portland, Oregon. So I don't know if you guys remember when this happened, when these women were all found dead, and for like weeks and months they were like, there is no connection. We have nothing to say that any of these women were ever connected to the same killer. We're not even saying that they were killed. We're just saying they died somehow. And then months later, it came out that, yeah, the dude killed all these women. So I would be cautious about believing any PD that says there's no connection, because sometimes it just takes a while for them to find out what that connection is and who might be killing these people. I laugh because I think it's funny, the situation not the people that died. I think that's very sad. But I think it's funny that cops lie to people all the time and they're just like, "Oh, there's nothing here. Never heard of it before in my life." But then you find out a month later that, yeah, they're all dead. I Hate Morning says that happened just blocks from from where I was living back then. Yeah, it was strange. Like the map that came out, I wonder if we could find it. It's Kristen Smith, Ashley Reel, and Joanna Speaks. They were the big ones, and Charity Perry. So I want to see if we can find that map. Yeah, sure, that one will do. So this one was a little more acute. So not quite like the one in New England. This one happened like all around Portland. So this only has 4 on it, but there was more. I think there was a couple that ended up being ruled out. There was 2 women that were found on the same day, but I feel like that one was like unrelated or something like that. So there was a couple that ended up being ruled out, but at least these ones, Joanna Speaks, Kristen Smith, Bridget Webster, and Ashley Reel and Charity Perry, these ones were all connected. And then, yeah, they kept trying to say how those people on YouTube, they're very bad people. They keep making up conspiracy theories about serial killers. You know, they got crazy imaginations. No, we were right. We were correct. Yeah, move along. Nothing to see here. If you look in this direction over here, you'll see the area where there are no serial killers. But what about the other direction? No, just look over here. There are none in this area. There might be some over here, but there's none in this direction. Gary Ridgway, yeah. Let's see. You would laugh if someone asked you to dig up gold? Yeah, I'd laugh. I'd be like, show me the money first. Yeah, it was a weird one. This one was really weird. It was, I think it was the sister of Joanna Speaks who did a lot of the sort of pushing to have these girls linked together. She sort of spoke out and became a bit of like a figurehead for it. And she did a lot of the media and driving a lot of the media conversation about her sister, but also the other women. It was a really big deal at the time, and she did a really good job. Let's see. Kristen Smith murdered her mother, Melissa. That's not the one I want to do, though. But that's okay. We could watch that one. So, see if you see where it is here.
Smith's mother saying?
Yeah, Laurel, good evening. Melissa Smith released an approximately 10-minute video statement on Facebook. She says everything that's transpired over the recent months has left her feeling very overwhelmed. She's hoping that the man police are zeroing in on can provide some much needed answers.
Very tragic, very heartbreaking.
That's Melissa Smith talking on Facebook about her daughter, Kristen Smith. The 22-year-old vanished late last year, only to turn up dead in mid-February. Her body discovered near southeast Deerdorf and Flavel in southeast Portland.
It's been a long 6 months. It's been very prolonged.
Melissa is by no means the only parent dealing with immense grief. About 2 months after Kristen's body was found, the body of 24-year-old Charity Perry was located in Ainsworth State Park. Then 31-year-old Bridget Webster's body was found in rural Polk County. And in early May, the body of 22-year-old Ashley Rial was discovered in rural Clackamas County.
Everybody keeps asking, is there a serial killer? Is there a serial killer? We know what you guys know.
And what is that exactly? Well, according to the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office, detectives have identified a person of interest who can be linked to all 4 victims.
So there you go. It took them a while. They figured it out, and they're like, "Oh, maybe there is a connection here after all." Carolina says, "A coffee for the trip." Thank you, my friend. That is more than kind. Everyone's been very, very generous. I sort of feel a little bit like a woman who's 9 months pregnant. I sort of feel like we've been building for so long to go to this trial. I just sort of want it to be over with. It's a weird feeling. I just sort of want to get it done. It just feels like we've been like waiting and waiting, and it's like 9 months, and actually we've been waiting for about 18 months. 18 months we've been waiting to get into a courthouse for Aaron Patterson. So it's been a long wait. It's been a lot of really weird delays for like no reason. Like she delayed her own Supreme Court trial just so she could drag everyone out to Morwell to have the trial. Like she could have gone to court last year. They had time in the Melbourne Supreme Court last year that she could have had her trial in September, but she chose not to. She chose to sit in jail for another like 7 months to go to trial in the country. I still don't get it. I've asked people who have been involved in the case. I've asked them like, why does she want this? And even they don't know. I've talked to people that have been to all the pre-trial hearings, and I asked them like, is there an explanation that has come out in the pre-trial stuff? They don't know either. They don't really understand. It's very strange. Maybe we'll find out at the trial why she wanted it. I don't know. I don't think anyone really has a good idea. But yeah, it's been a long wait. So I feel a little 9 months pregnant right now. I just, ladies who get pregnant and they have the baby and it's like they're like a week before their due date and they're just like, get this thing out of me. I'm done. I've already been doing this. I want the baby now. Come on. That's sort of how I feel. I'm just like, let's just get there and get this over with. I want to go to court. Carolina says delay, delay, delay. It's a common defense move. Oh, that could be it. I don't know. I Hate Morning says maybe she thinks they know and like her. I'm not sure what the reasoning would be, and I think I've demonstrated in the past that that's a very strange mindset. If that is indeed what it is, I don't know, but it's a strange mindset because it goes anti to what the logical, if you understand court hearings and how jury pools work, it sort of runs counterintuitive to like how if you're I can't say too much. All I can say is that it doesn't make a lot of sense. So being without being Aaron specific, all I'll say is it doesn't make a lot of sense if you've watched a lot of trials and you understand where juries come from and how they pull them and stuff like that. It just sort of a bit odd. But who knows? Maybe we'll find out next week. Gayla says, might be because they are more likely to go. Well, I don't think, I don't think people in the city would be foreign to that idea, though, to be honest. I think most people in the city have either done it or heard of it or know someone that does it. So, I mean, I get it, but who knows? Hey, Profiler. What are you up to? You going to go to bed? Who's going to bed? You or Sean? Or both of you? Together, maybe. Way past your bedtime. Hey, true crime doesn't stop. I'm awake at midnight. I Hate Morning says she's proven she's got a strange mindset. A little bit. So this one actually, yeah, this story came from DJ. DJ gave me this, and he's like, you have to look at this. There's a serial killer. And I was like, all right, I'll have a look. But if you look at this map, it's all a little weird, right? Especially that March 25th and that April 9. They're not that far from each other. Maybe like 100 miles. Not that far on either side of the border. These ones down here are a little less convincing. You got March 19, March 21st, and the earlier in the month on March 6th. They're they're a little further apart than the other ones, and they seem to be there's no real connection between them except for the arterial road that runs through the region. They all seem to be on that arterial highway. This one up here is interesting because they're right next to each other in that border region, and then this one is sort of an outlier. It's sort of up here, not really connected to anything. So this one may actually be sort of not related. These two I'd be interested in. You may actually have something here where this one's like an isolated. These ones may be connected. And then you have these three down the bottom, which you could maybe think these would be more likely to be connected to each other rather than all of them. So you may have actually like three groups of different situations going on. Or they could all be totally isolated. Who knows? But if I lived in the area, I'd be worried, especially when you have young ladies like this. And this lady too, that look, they look like nice young women and they just turn up dead. I find that a bit strange. Especially, being young, attractive ladies. Often people who are victimized or predated on. So I find that interesting. Is that you? Are you DJ? Is that definitely you? I got this email from you just before I went live, and I was like, all right, I want to talk about it. I just want to find if we can find any more on Paige Fannin. Paige Fannin. There was a GoFundMe thing for her. Let's see. Her name is Aaliyah. Aaliyah's? In loving memory. So they raised $14,000 for her. That's really kind. Writing Paige has left behind two amazing parents, two sisters, and one brother. If you had the honor of knowing Paige, you would know how deeply she cared for what she loved. You would know how strong she would fight for you, even when you were down. Words cannot describe the pain and stress our family is feeling. Yeah, I could understand that. It sounds really sad. I don't understand, like, was she suffering from anything? Is there any predisposition here? There was a thing, I reckon, if I look here. She was reported missing at one point. Yeah, so she was reported missing in New York on March 4. She was last seen in Wilton near Shenix Island on Wednesday, March 5th, 2025, around 12 p.m. So around lunchtime. Where is Shenix Island? It must be near Gilgo. It would have to be. Where? Wilton? Okay, Wilton? Island. Alright. No, that's in Connecticut. Okay. Shenix Island. Where is... It's a park. Ah, I thought it would be an island. Okay. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Well, shame on me, because I should have learned. Alright, hold on, let's have a look. Shenix Island, what the hell is it? It's just a park? Okay. What exactly would she be doing here? There's a river, the Norwalk River. Isn't that where she was found too? That river? Hold on. Didn't they find her in the river? Hold on, I'm just going to check this. Yeah, Norwalk River. Her body was found in the fast-moving Norwalk River the night after a heavy deluge. So she was found in that river. That's weird. Why would she be all the way down here from New York? If we zoom out, so there's the island. There's Connecticut. There's New York. And there's Long Island. So she was almost like on the other side of Long Island, basically directly across and inland for a bit. That's weird. Why would you end up here? Did she have family in the area? That's what I'd like to know. Why would she be up here if she's from Islip? In New Haven. Her body had been found in the river. Okay. I just want to see if we get any more details about her death. Apparently, the police chief, Louis Fasaro, said, "I would tell people don't rush to judgment. Yeah, no serial killers for you." On my time, okay. What? Apparently, the remains belonging to a female between the ages of 40 and 60 were left near the cemetery in mid-February. This is a different human. What do you mean left? What do you mean left at the cemetery? Like someone was like, "Wow, I killed the person now. I'm just gonna take it to the place where we take dead people, to a cemetery." That's odd. Apparently, that person's remains were found in a suitcase at a cemetery. Okay. Residents concerned about the discovery became spooked when they learned that the bodies of 2 other women had recently been found in 2 other Connecticut towns, Norwalk and New Haven. On March 6th, the remains of a woman identified as Paige Fannin of West Islip, New York, were found in the Norwalk River near the abandoned Grist Mill Road Bridge in Norwalk, near the Wilton border. Okay, Grist Mill Road Bridge. All right, we're looking for a bridge, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't look like a bridge. What'd they say? Wilton Pits? Is that what they said? I know you guys can't hear me, so when I'm asking, it's okay. I'm just talking to myself. Let's see. That's interesting. Nope, that's not it. I'm trying to go back to the page I was on. Apparently it doesn't want to do it. Come on. It's being a real pain in the butt. Codes are just 1 month. No, we did that one already. I just want to go back to our story. Okay, here. Grist Mill Road Bridge in Norwalk near the Wilton border. Well, there's Wilton Pits. Oh, yeah, you guys can see. You guys can come hunt with me. Wilton Pits. There's the river. Are we going in the wrong direction? We're looking for a bridge. Well, that's a bridge, but it doesn't really tell us what it's called. What happens if we keep going south? Well, there's another bridge. Depends what you classify as a bridge. There's another bridge. There's a lot of bridges. Here. Grist Mill Road, right here. So they found her body here underneath this bridge. Okay. If we zoom out, where does that go? Okay, just out of town. It goes down to the interstate. Do you think that she jumped? Because they said she was last seen around this river. Do you think maybe she jumped off the bridge? It's not a very high bridge though, is it? Maybe she meant to. I don't want to be gruesome. Maybe she meant to hit the train track. I don't know. It's not that tall. It's a pretty low bridge. Yeah. What happens if we go here and we go here? Can we see what it looks like off the bridge? I mean, they said at the time it was swollen, so it was like it had a lot of water in that river after a heavy downfall. Yeah, I want to go. Hey, Google, put me in. No, I want to go in the other lane. Why are you being such a dick? Come on, Google. Nope, you stupid Google. Google's not being our friend right now. It wants us to go in this lane for some reason. It doesn't look like we can see into the river very well. I don't know. It's a weird place to like, if you were like sort of wanting to jump. It's not a place that I would think would be a great, you know. When you look here, it's not that deep. Like it's not like hundreds of feet or something like that. It's a bit strange, especially saying that her body, like she's from so far away. It's not like she's comes to the area all the time. Yeah, I don't get it. And she only went missing 2 days before her body was located. That one's weird. I don't know if it's suspicious or not, but the Michelle Romano one's interesting too. They put out this photo of them digging up her remains or like recovering them. And they're in this sort of wooded area. Check that out. So they were out here and they were trying to find her. That seems strange. Like people are not going to just be out there. Gayla says you would need to climb down and would be seen. It's a really odd place to have a body found, especially in that area. I find that highly odd. Paige Fannin assisting. Here. Per the New Haven Register, Wilton authorities were looking for Fannin, a resident of New York on Long Island, as she was seen in their jurisdiction on March 5th, a day after she was reported missing in New York. Authorities located clothing and personal items left on the bank of the Norwalk River before eventually discovering her body. It seems like she either fell in or jumped in. That one maybe not that suspicious. The fact that they found her personal items on the bank tells me that she put them there. Also, I mean, someone could have put them there, but it just doesn't seem right. It really seems like that one may be a really sad case of someone having a bad time. It's really sad if that's the case. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it with the finding of her personal items on the bank of the river. It sounds like maybe she ran away from home, was having a really bad time, and I don't know, maybe decided to end it. So maybe no serial killer for that one. But we've got plenty of others, including that other woman who was found in the in the woods. That's a bit strange. Let's see. Denise Leary. She's 59? No way. She looks so good. I mean, she's passed away now, but she looked great for her age. This lady was 59. You kidding me? This lady looks like really good for her. This was her here. She was 59. I want to see more 59-year-olds that look like that. Wow, she was very, very good looking for her, like not just for her age. She was just very good looking. Authorities in New Haven found the body of Denise Leary after residents reported discovering human remains in a wooded area near a home. They say the remains were in an advanced state of decay when they were found. On March 25th, police confirmed the body belonged to Denise, who disappeared in September last year. Police claim Leary suffered from a paranoid schizophrenia. Wow, that's sad. So could a bunch of these be S words, maybe? Wow, she's a very pretty lady. Very pretty. And then the other one is Michelle Romano. She was also in that 50 age bracket. The body of Michelle Romano was found on March 26, 8 months after she disappeared. Her remains were found in a wooded area on Rhode Island. Investigators began looking into the suspicious circumstances surrounding her death. There you go, suspicious. A man in the neighborhood told WJAR that his dog may have noticed the remains before they were found by the individual who reported it. He said, "I know my dog has been acting strange when he comes out here. He's always sniffing over that way. I don't know how long the body has been over there, but he would pick up on it." So you never went and checked it out? That's an interesting one. They reckon that one is suspicious. And then in Killingly, Connecticut, there was an unnamed, no information on gender or age. Last week, unidentified human remains were found in Killingly. The Connecticut State Police previously told People the investigation is in the early stages, remains active and ongoing, and there is no information at this time suggesting any connection to similar remains discovered actively under investigation by CSP or other CT law enforcement. They said while police across towns remain tight-lipped, online sleuths are gathering on TikTok, Facebook, and Reddit to discuss the matter. If you all want a place to discuss potential serial killers, come hang out with Ping. I will talk serial killers with you every day. Every day. You want to talk about Connecticut and Rhode Island and New Hampshire every day? Come hang out here. I will gladly run through all your theories on how these may be connected every day. Gayla says, I'm not believing she's 59. She's 59. That's her age. This is a photo that was given out by the PD. That's her, unless this was taken like 19 years ago. But she looks really good for 59. Very good. Look what the cops are wearing. Hold on. Where's that other photo we had? Now you want me to see. Now I've got to see what you're talking about. Well, they do look very cold. They are all wearing very thick jackets. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. There you go. There's that photo of the cops. Maybe someone making it look like the S word. I mean, maybe that one about the river is a little odd. I mean, it's hard to put yourself in that mindset if you've never actually been in that mindset. But why would you go all the way from Long Island, all the way across the river, into a different county, just to jump in a river when you've got the entire freaking Long Island that you could jump into the ocean anywhere, and they got really big bridges in New York. So if that was something you wanted to do, why would you not just do it in New York? And you got a bigger river too, more water, ocean. It seems odd to do it in some tiny podunk town in friggin' over there. Graves says people with psychotic disorders can be really vulnerable at times. I hope they don't brush it off. Yes, that is true. I agree with you. Carolina says, I heard someone say the other day that spring should be the time when missing people are found between mushroom hunters and dog walkers. It's amazing how many bodies are found by hunters. It really is. And I mean, it makes sense because they're the first ones to go out for the spring hunting season. And they're the ones who are like creeping around in the bush and stuff. So it makes a lot of sense. But I wonder if you're a hunter, is that something that you always have to sort of have in the back of your mind that you may have to like find a body? I wonder if that's something that hunters always think about. Halo? Yes, Halo. I'm not sure what that means, but yes. Yeah, let's go here. Well, that's very interesting. It's not often we get any sort of stories anymore about active serial killers. I just want to check if there's any. Let me take you out to Boston News. I think that one will work. Yeah. All right. Let me take you to Fox 61.
Continue to investigate if there's a connection between the discovery of human remains found in a nearby cemetery on Mitchell Street last month and the intensive scene investigation at an apartment just blocks away from where that body was found. Citizens are now taking to social media to share their concerns about a potential serial killer. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi spoke with neighbors and has the latest.
Well, people from all over New England are taking to social media to share their concerns about the discovery of several human remains of women across New England. Now they tell me they're scared this could be the result of a potential serial killer. With the permission of these two TikTok users, the videos show their concerns about multiple bodies found across New England.
There is a very active serial killer stalking both women and men in southern New England right now.
The human remains that were found in the cemetery were just identified as a female between the ages of 40 and 60.
On a Facebook post, Groton police announced the discovery of.
I'm sorry, I have to ask you all. You all watch true crime. You all watch my channel a lot. Do you like how those two ladies presented the true crime? Like, what's with the giant bushy eyes and being like, "Oh my god, there's a serial killer." Like you can't be sensationalist. You have to tell the facts. You can't be winding people up and being like, "Oh my god, I know for a fact there's a serial killer." Like that's not honest reporting. That's not ethical reporting. And I think that's the type of stuff that damages true crime on the internet when you act like that on your videos without any context, without any explanation. It's strange, and I hope people who tune into this channel are not attracted to that type of content. I mean, if you are, fair enough, but I don't really understand people who talk like this for true crime. It's maybe not so much the second girl, she was all right, but this first girl, like she's way overexcited. She looks like she's had so much coffee and caffeine that her eyes might explode.
Killer stalking both women and men in southern New England right now. The human
So this is what I would consider dishonest reporting. How do you know that there is a serial killer? And how can you say that there is a serial killer stalking men and women? You have no basis for this information. You can say that they think there might be, that there could be a link, but to say it as a certainty, as a 100%, you can't. And that is dishonest reporting. And this is the type of stuff that is rotting true crime. People who can't tell the truth about like facts and things like that. Yeah, it's terrible. And she literally looks like she is sexually excited to tell you this information. She literally looks like she's about to do something. The other girl wasn't too bad. She just sort of has that I don't know what you call it, like sort of like that drone that some girls do where they're like, "So, there's a serial killer and there was identified today." Like it's not my type of thing, but that's maybe just how she is. I didn't see anything wrong with that one, but the first one just like how bright is your ring light that your eyes have to glow like that in daylight? Like how many bulbs do you have focused on your head? Yeah. I Hate Morning says, I miss Here Are the Facts type of news broadcast. Well, we do analysis on this channel, but I try and just bring you the absolute truth. I don't want to sit here and be like, maybe a space shuttle came and abducted these people. I mean, you can't discount it. No one has said that they didn't see a UFO the night this woman went missing. So therefore, my theory is correct. A UFO could be involved. Like, we don't really do stuff like that. Jojo said a certain YouTuber starts all kind of rumors in true crime. There's a few of them. There's a few of them. Grieve says, I try not to judge over a 5-second clip, but yeah, I hate it. Yeah, me too. It's just what I was presented with. I'm guessing that that's probably what they do all the time, just by the gist of it. Sean said, pseudoscience hurts my brain. Pseudo serial killers. Yeah, the other girl, she was all right, but not my type of content. But she did a pretty okay job.
Facebook post, Groton police announced the discovery of human remains on Mitchell Street, adjacent to the entrance of Colonel Cemetery on March 19th. Police say the victim was identified as a female. On April 17th, police say a concerned citizen called police to an apartment on Allen Street, just 2 blocks away from where the previous body was found. The scene investigation also led to numerous rumors of another body discovery, but police confirmed no body was found. On April 16, Providence police say they recovered a body from the Winnescataquet River. Social media users and several neighbors I spoke to who did not want to be on camera are now asking local police to address the public if they should be aware of potential serial killer across New England. Now, Groton police are reminding people to stay vigilant and cautious of their surroundings. And if anyone has any information about this incident, police are urging people to contact them. More details.
Yes, that's right. If you have any information about the serial killers, plural, that are working in this area, you should contact the police department. You know, any information about serial killers will help. Just ones they don't know about. The ones they do know about, they have all the information. You've got to tell them about the ones they don't know about. Um, yeah, it's an interesting case. Anytime you anytime you get a grouping of bodies or unidentified deaths or unidentified remains that pop up within a fairly close geographical area, there's always you know a percentage of your mind that thinks, well, are they connected? Now, the majority of times they're not. It's just like when you think of how many people live in this area, it's probably millions of literally millions of people. America is one of the most densely populated countries on Earth. And when you put that into context with how many people die per day in America, and then you think, well, in a month they had 6 people that they found across 3 different states. And you sort of overlay that with how many deaths happen every day. Yeah, some of them are sort of weird. That girl that was found in the woods, that one's a little strange, but they did say that she may be they did say that one was suspicious. They said the other one with the other lady, the 59-year-old black lady, unfortunately she suffered from schizophrenia. So they're thinking that maybe she had a break from reality and somehow wound up dead. Not sure how, but they're just saying maybe her condition played a part in it. Then you had the girl that was found in the river, and that one's a little strange. I'll admit, I don't know whether that is a self-harm type of thing or someone led her there or something. That one's a little weird, but they're saying no suspicious circumstances on that one either. So, Woman of Steel said someone reported 6 bodies in Portland. Oh, yeah, no, they solved that one. They solved that one last year. We actually played it before. That's the Portland one. There is a guy that was responsible for that. And we said it earlier in the show too. At the time when the bodies first showed up, they said, "Oh, there's nothing to see here." You know, these crazy internet people that keep coming up with conspiracy theories about a serial killer. But they didn't, not all of them, but I think it was 4 girls ended up being connected together to the same killer. So not all of them. I think it was 7 women all up, but 2 of them happened on the same day. They they were related to a different killing. There was another girl who died from a different, I think her boyfriend ended up killing her. It was very sad. It was a DV related death. But then the other 4, they were killed by all the same guy. So there was sort of a split thing about it. So some of them were killed by one person, another girl died from different means, and then you actually had a serial killer who killed 4 of the girls. So that one's been solved. That guy's in jail. He's currently awaiting trial. So Gayla said we all said they were linked. Yes, that one definitely. Woman of Steel said I should have been watching you. I didn't hear a peep. Yeah, we covered it at the time. That's the one out of Portland, Oregon. Who's the guy? Is it Bradley Jr. or is that a different guy? Yes. Now my memory comes back. It's Jesse Lee Calhoun. That is the person who killed the girls. Jesse Lee Calhoun. That other guy is a different case. Jesse Lee Calhoun, 39 years old, was indicted by a grand jury last year, May 18, 2024, in the second-degree murder for the charges of 24-year-old Charity Lynn Perry, 31-year-old Bridget Leanne Webster, and 32-year-old Joanna Speaks. Now, there was a 4th girl that they were trying to get him connected to, but I don't know if they ever did. There was a 4th victim that they do believe was he killed them. So it was these 4: Ashley Real, Kristen Smith, Bridget Webster, and Charity Perry. But I'm not sure if they ever got the fourth one. I know they were working on it.
And I want to tell you that these detectives have worked so hard and they have made sure that they knew that we were working. Even though they wouldn't give me the answers, I knew they had answers because they wouldn't give them to me. And then third is just because not all of these girls no at that, but just because not all of these girls have their charges have been brought up yet for the other families does not mean that we aren't still standing beside them. We're still together the whole way, all.
So that was the mother of one of the victims. This was when they did the big press conference announcing that indictment from grand jury and that they had got Jesse Lee Calhoun on those charges. So yeah, I can't remember. Was it Ashley Real was the one that they were trying to connect and they couldn't? There was a fourth victim that they were desperately trying to connect him. They do believe he killed her, but they just didn't have enough evidence, I think. Let me get out of this. We still were? No, it wasn't. Yes, it was Ashley Real. We are still very much investigating the deaths of Kristen Smith and Ashley Real with our partners here, as well as Clackamas County DA and other investigators. So yeah, it was Kristen Smith and Ashley. They're the two that they're still were trying to pin on him. So they do believe he probably killed them too. That's these two in the middle, Ashley and Kristen. So yeah, they were still trying to do that. I don't know if they ever did though. Let me see if I can find Jesse Lee Calhoun. Sounds like a cowboy name, Jesse Lee Calhoun. Here's a photo of him. This is Jesse Lee Calhoun, Portland serial killer, responsible for the murder of those women. That was 3 women in 50 days, although they believe there's more. They're just not able to link it to him. So there's his photo. Jesse Lee Calhoun. He's a bona fide serial killer. Real one. He's a real one out of Portland. He has evil eyes. He does sort of have that very vacant stare, like there's not like the lights are on, but no one's home. He sort of has that, doesn't he? Almost like he'd kill you and not ever feel bad about it. But yeah, they were still trying to link a few deaths to him. So yeah, that one got solved. They see, Calhoun has also been identified as a person of interest in the deaths of the 22-year-old Kristen Smith and 22-year-old Ashley Real. So they are still working on it. Yeah. All right. It is almost 1 a.m. local time, so I should get out of here. I haven't even had dinner yet, so I should go eat. I should go eat some food, which I haven't done yet. And I'll be back in the morning. Hold on, what is this? Sean, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much for the what do you call this thing? A Ko-Fi. Thank you very much for the Ko-Fi. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you, buddy. It's 3:30 in the afternoon, really? That feels odd because normally I'm on at 3:30 in my afternoon, not 3:30 in your afternoon. That feels very strange. All right. Let me have a look here. Yeah, Sean, I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Helps out a lot. It's very sweet. Carolina says, thanks for coming on so late. 10:38 a.m. in the morning for you. Ah. You said you were away to get pizza earlier. I did. I got my pizza. I ate one slice and then I came on to talk to you guys. So I did go and get my pizza. And we got Mrs. Ping some chicken. She wanted roast chicken. So that's about all she can eat. So she can eat salmon and roast chicken. That's about the only protein that she can eat without being very sick, very violently ill. But yeah, I did get my nice pizza and I got to go eat it. So I'm going to go do that and I'll be back. So the only reason I came on tonight was because of that breaking news out of Sydney. So if you missed that earlier, that breaking news is the alleged killer of Audrey, who we spoke about the other night, Audrey Griffin, 19 years old, has died. Adrian Torrens, 53, was found unresponsive at Silverwater Jail about 4:50 p.m. on Thursday and was unable to be revived. So very sad, but the story about Audrey Griffin and how she came to be murdered will never be told. We'll never find out. He has taken those secrets to the grave and taken the coward's way out, never to face justice, never to face a jury of his peers and to be judged over his crime. It'll never happen. He will now be buried, basically. They will bury him. And that'll be, unfortunately, all we ever hear about this particular case. There's a photo of him there. That's the only photo I've seen of him. And there's a photo of the lovely Audrey Griffin, who was found in Erina Creek on the New South Wales Central Coast last month. So, not the way we like these things to go, not the way we like these things to ever happen. We like people to be able to face justice and have their evidence read out in court and give them a fair trial so they may be judged by a jury of their peers. And unfortunately for Audrey and her family, they will never get that day in court because he, just as he is an alleged murderer, is also a coward that couldn't face what he'd done. So he took the easy way out and left this world only a few days after being in custody. So it's very sad. It happens sometimes with these type of cases, and all I can say is that I feel for her family. It must be a hell of a roller coaster to be like, our daughter was killed. There's no suspicious circumstances. They arrested someone for murder, and the murderer is dead. That is a hell of a thing to go on over a 4-week period. So I feel very much for her family, and losing a daughter must be extremely tough, but losing the chance at justice must be even harder. So yeah. All right. That's what I'm going to end the show on. And yeah, there you go. Early mornings with Ping. I'm not going to make a habit of it, but tonight you get that. All right, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon. It is Anzac Day tomorrow. So Anzac Day in Australia, very much like your Memorial Day, where we pay tribute to the people of Australian and New Zealand military who fought in like Gallipoli and different things that defended our freedoms and our values. So tomorrow is like a big day to remember these people who fought in the wars, and like a lot of them are not around anymore. So there's a few of them, but actually I don't know if did the last one. I think maybe the last one died recently, but we still do it to show thanks for their sacrifice and to show respect for what they did for our country. So tomorrow is Anzac Day in Australia. So it's sort of like a dual celebration between Australia and New Zealand, sort of like a bonding between the countries over military and things like that. So we even have a cookie. So if you don't know this about Australia, there is a Anzac biscuit, and it's got some really interesting laws surrounding it. So you have to call it an Anzac biscuit. It can't be called an Anzac cookie. If you do that, you'll get in trouble. It has to have certain ingredients, and it's sort of like it's sort of like a national icon. It's sort of like a real big thing down here. It's called an Anzac biscuit. Now, it's been a while since I've made them. But I'm pretty sure it's got like golden syrup and oats or something in it. Yeah, it does. So there you go. It's got coconut, flour, sugar, butter, golden syrup, baking soda, and oats. And they're made in a very specific way. This is the only ingredients you're allowed to put in it. No other ingredients. It has to follow the sort of the recipe. The recipe is sort of like a national like thing that we protect very dearly. It's a symbolism. And yeah, so on Anzac Day, you'll see a lot of people indulging in a nice Anzac biscuit. And yeah, there'll be ceremonies tomorrow at the War Memorial. There'll be all sorts of things happening all day tomorrow. So it's a big, big day for Australians. And so if you don't know, it's sort of a weird day where things are not open until about 1 p.m. So we observe that silence and sort of reflection period for half the day. And then after about 1 p.m., things can reopen again. And everyone sort of parties and does a lot of drinking and two up and things like that. So it's a celebration, but also a reflection. Yeah, they used to send them to the soldiers to kind of keep their morale and energy up, is what we were told in school. That the golden syrup in it used to keep their blood sugar up or something like that. So that's what they told us when I was growing up. Sean said, "We'll go to the nearest pub." Yeah, we'll go to the pub and play two up. I don't think you're allowed to do that anymore. I'm pretty sure a bunch of the pubs in Melbourne took away two up. So if you don't know what two up is, it's a game. It's sort of like a plank of wood, and you hold it, and then you put two coins on it, and you throw it up into the air like that, and they sort of spin in the air, and then they land. And the idea is it's either heads or tails. It's tails and heads. It's heads and heads, and you sort of bet on it, and you bet on the outcome of the game. Now you can only play two up on Anzac Day. Can't play. Is it on Anzac Day, Sean, or is it on Australia Day? I can't remember what day we do it, but I'm sure was it Anzac Day? I kind of feel like that it was Anzac Day. Hold on. Is it? Yes. So two up is allowed to be played on Anzac Day, Remembrance Day, and Victory in the Pacific Day. I don't know what that is, but sure. So it's this little wooden dude. I'll show you. And you put two probably pennies in it, old school Australian pennies. And this is a two up, but like a two up holder, and you put them in, and you gather around the guy, and you throw money, and you're like, "Hey, I'll bet $5 on double heads or double tails or whatever." And it's like a national game. Like you can play it only a few times a year. Other times a year, it's illegal. But on certain remembrance days, it's legal. So you want to play some two up, you can, but only on 3 days per year. That's it. So we play that, but without the plank. Well, in Australia, we play the plank. We do it with this way. Carolina said, "I think these rules are too confusing for me." Sean said, "It's fun to watch." Yeah, it is fun. You'll see it on the news. Maybe tomorrow when I do the late show, I'll show you. And you'll see all the people scattered around, like with $20 bills and like yelling and throwing money at the guy. And then they throw it up in the air and everyone gets really happy and they drink another beer. And so it's half Remembrance Day, half get pissed and play two up day. in celebration of the Anzacs. Woman of Steel said it's a special kind of plank. It is. Only for Anzac Day. That's what it is. You just do beer pong? I don't know if we do that here. Maybe. All right. All right. I will see you tomorrow. No, that's okay. I will see you tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll have more to talk about. Maybe even more serial killers. Maybe. Find me some more serial killers so we can talk about it. I'll see you then. Good night. Good night. Bye. It's almost 1 a.m. Jeez, it's late. Lucky it's a public holiday tomorrow. Good night. See you later.